Hello chocolate muffins, 'tis I, Ceri of CeriGotGame. Well, it has finally come out, on my 29th birthday no less. Dragon Age Inquisition is finally here. That was dramatic. I hurt my knees. Okay. Alas, I have not had time to play more than a couple of hours, so I wouldn't feel right doing an entire review. However, I've already discovered a plethora of amazing things I have to share with you about this game, so I'm going to do a pre-review. Thus, you know, the title of this video. And just a fair warning, this video is going to be fairly long because I want to be thorough, but I want to give you the most information possible about the game thus far. So hopefully I'll stay entertaining and you can bear through it with me. Shall we?
You want to talk about Dragon Age Inquisition, Onyx? Yeah, you want to help me do the game review? Yeah? I want to talk in this really annoying baby voice? Are you just gonna purr and be adorable? Yeah? Yeah, seems like a plan. Okay, sounds like a plan.
First, a tiny bit of background. When the original Dragon Age Origins came out in 2009, I was blown away. As a longtime fan of both the Elder Scrolls series and classic JRPGs like Final Fantasy and Tales, Origins seemed like the perfect blend of tactics and story, relationship building and badass dragon slaying. Then Dragon Age 2 came out, and while I didn't hate it as much as Reddit and /B did, Fenris went a long way in alleviating my disgust. I did resent how BioWare tried to copy the format of their more successful Mass Effect series, without considering why others might prefer Dragon Age. Thus, I was immensely relieved when news came out during the development of Inquisition that BioWare was trying to blend the elements that worked from both games, giving it a more streamlined combat like 2, but also including the option of second-by-second party control from Origins. And insofar as what I've played of the new Dragon Age, I dare say their quest was a success. But before I could dive in and start playing, I had to get the game installed, and that proved to be a bit more arduous than an excited gamer would like to deal with. I opted for the PC version because it's easier to record from, and because Dragon Age is a game ripe for modding to make it even better. Even with the physical discs, though, installation was a bear. It's 4 discs big, which seems insane in this day and age, and it requires you to activate through everyone's favorite Steam ripoff, Origin, first. Hopefully this means I can download the game from Origin if I ever lose the discs, otherwise this is a really annoying thing to require. Anyhow, after 2 hours of installation, during which I had to restart twice because the installation kept pausing with no explanation why and no option to unpause, I finally got the dang thing installed, and was immediately blown away all over again. I'm just gonna say it. Dragon Age Inquisition is a beautiful game. The landscaping, the character models, the environmental effects, everything about it is gorgeous, and must be well coded as well because even my geriatric PC could run it on high with minimal stutter. It's like Skyrim with every improved texture and enhanced particle effect mod ever released, and inexplicably working together, populated by the most beautiful character models I've seen since the full-motion pre-rendered cutscenes of Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. For the first time in a BioWare game, characters can walk and talk simultaneously. Their facial expressions are fluid and highly believable, adding more emotional depth to their already stellar voice acting.
The forward camp, Liliana. I will take her to the rift.
The aesthetic customization is pretty robust. It's not quite tweakable on the level of, say, Skyrim, but what's there works together a lot more harmoniously. There are decent presets, and the XY sliders for tweaking individual features is surprisingly user-friendly. The only real critique I have for character customization is the limit on voice acting choices, 2 per gender regardless of race, with one of a higher quality than the other. Sorry other voice actor, but that's how I feel. And the fact that they decided to do away with the racial identifiers that so many people complained about in 2. Haters, you got your wish. BioWare took out the differences that made the races, rather species, actually look different, and went back to humans with different heights and maybe 1 or 2 add-ons. Even the Kunari, playable for the first time ever, just look like humans with horns spirit glued on. But who knows? DA has a modding community almost on par with Elder Scrolls, and maybe those of us who actually liked the different looks of 2 will band together and make mods that give us more differences between species. Also related to character creation, you no longer have an option at the end that decides your character's background, like Dalish or Noble. Instead, that option is determined organically by the other choices you make. For instance, when I made a Kunari mage, who's female but that probably doesn't matter, I ended up a member of the Tal Vishath, those Kunari who reject the Kun, a stringent religious and moral code all Kunari are expected to follow. It makes sense since the Kunari fear and hate their magic users, and I would have been chained up and masked by my own people if I hadn't run away. If you haven't figured it out from what I've already said, then yes, Dragon Age Inquisition follows the path of previous DA games by having you make an entirely new hero to play. However, in Inquisition, you know right away what your purpose is. In the hours that I've played so far, I never once felt like I wasn't sure where I was heading, or what my immediate goals were. As for what transpired before you start playing, I'm sure more clues will emerge as you play, determined by conversation options and choices on how to proceed. There are also many familiar faces from previous games, like Leliana and Varric right at the start, and I presume that if you import a game state like you can at the beginning, how you shaped their futures in previous games will affect how they are involved in Inquisition.
Your help is appreciated, Varric, but...
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
My main curiosity right now is who will end up my favorite boy toy of the game, assuming neither Zevran nor Fenris become major characters again. Solus is cute, I guess, but I'm not much for baldness. Sorry, Zeus! And he's giving me major creeper vibes right from the beginning. Of course, anyone who's seen any of the trailers or promotional art knows that Morrigan will feature in Inquisition, but I've always been more tempted to be her than bang her, if you know what I mean. I did cosplay as her, after all. Moving on from the graphics, which are TLDR awesome, let's mention controls. Like I said at the start, I honestly think BioWare has done a great job combining the best elements from Origins and Dragon Age II. Your default view is a lot like 2, but with the quick bar and pausing capabilities of Origins. You can pause at any time without penalty, so if you want to decide on your actions second by second, a la Final Fantasy Tactics, you're free to do that. And if that's still not enough micromanaging to suit your taste, then you can switch to Tactical View, which is much as it was in Origins, with the option to decide on each party member's every move. There doesn't seem to be an ability to queue actions, though, which I find inconvenient, but bearable. Luckily, the AI seems to be fairly intelligent, and unless you're playing on super hard mode or fighting a really difficult boss, they're more than capable of dispatching enemies without your direct involvement. You can tweak their behavior slightly through a menu hidden under character options, but it's nowhere near as robust as the Final Fantasy XII Gambit system that Origins had. Fingers crossed, someone can expand what's already there like they did with the Advanced Tactics mod for Origins. There are also more options for how conversations can proceed. Rather than operate on a Paragon Renegade slider like Mass Effect, Inquisition conversations carry weight both by what options they open up, e.g. learning more about a situation before you commit to a decision, and by how other characters approve of or take issue with what you choose. It's not always easy to guess how your party members will react to a selected response, and you'll have to make the decision early on if you want to play your character as you think they would behave, or if you'd rather metagame your way into maximum possible approval rating. Luckily, I didn't notice any huge deviations between the implied text and what the character actually says, as we witnessed with some of the Mass Effect conversations. And you can save as often as you like, so if you're worried about a conversation ending up disastrously, save beforehand and scrub to your heart's content. As for me, I think it's more fun to roll with the consequences, because just as in life, sometimes things don't sound the way you wanted them to, and people take offense without your intention.
What did you do?
I haven't played enough yet to say too much about the story, other than that I'm having a lot of fun and I can't wait to see what happens next. As you get through the initial area, more side-questy type things open up, and there are plenty of supplies and codex entries to find if you look for them. Instead of having to hold down one key continuously to highlight interactable objects, now you have a pulse search, much like touching your amulet in The Witcher 2. Unlike Witcher, there's no delay between pulses, and you can use it like a homing beacon if the objects aren't immediately apparent. It's also clearly indicated which NPCs you can talk to, and while it slightly breaks down on immersion to have characters with icons floating over their head, it really cuts down on aimless clicking to find out who will give you the time of day. I can already tell Inquisition is one of those RPGs that's like an onion, it's got lots of layers. Secret things that only the most diligent players will find. I've loved my hours with the game so far, and I'm itching to finish up this review so I can go play some more. Thanks for watching this long-ass pre-review. I hope you found it useful and that you'll give the game a try, even and especially if you hated Dragon Age 2. I'll probably do another review for this game when I get closer to the end of it, but I got a day job and other shit going on, so it probably won't be for a while. In the meantime, please leave a comment, let me know what I can do to improve my videos, besides make them shorter. I'm already working on that one. Ugh, wiggles. And if there's any other games out there you really want me to review, then let me know. It doesn't have to be a new game, in fact preferably not, since I'm not made out of money. However, if it's an indie game, or if you yourself have come out with a game that you want me to review, then let me know and I can see about getting a review copy. Or you can gift it to me on Steam if you really want me to play it, but let's not do that unless you really want me to. Feels dirty. Feels dirty accepting gifts, but if you really want me to, I will. God, that sounds stuck up. Hopefully that's not how it came across. Alright, I'm done here. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, share with your friends, leave a comment, and I'm done. Bye!
Do you hate me yet? Do you hate me yet? Do you hate me yet? Do you hate me yet?
Be free. Onyx.